Okay, let's have a look here at what the market is doing. Today is July 3rd. It's Friday. The market isn't open today. It's closed for the July 4th holiday. But I just wanted to look at the market as a whole and see what's going on with it. Something I also had to point out. Yesterday I had sold the MSTU puts, so that was on the video for that. As like a fix, like error thing. I had sold the put on July 2nd, so it expired yesterday. I sold the wrong put. It didn't really matter. After I was done doing it, I saw that, and so I rolled it out to next Friday because I sold the wrong put. I sold the one for yesterday. So I rolled it out for next Friday, which is the one that was intended to be sold. And then I also sold two instead of one. I was supposed to sell two instead of one. I sold one the first time. Now I had enough money that I could sell two. So, that's the change that I had did here was that I made the correct Friday, which is next Friday, and I sold two puts instead of one because I had the funds to sell two instead of one. So that was that, and that can go away. And now I kind of just want to look at what the market's doing and kind of figure that out. So we did have some low days here. I think I talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago, possibly. There was like a $280, a sub 280 that I was looking at, and so that had happened in here last week. So I did get some of this. I didn't actually get a lot of it. It didn't last very long, and then Apple came back out of it. So I won't be buying Apple anymore. I wanted some potentially going into earnings. I didn't know how long it was going to last, but I wanted some pricing under $280, and I did get that pricing, but it didn't last very long, so I didn't get very much of that. And now, Apple's moved back up again on this very large green candle, so we are out of the buying area for Apple. Nothing here for AMD. Oops. Amazon's been low for a while, and now it's climbing back out of there. So Apple isn't necessarily buyable anymore. I was looking here for something under 225. I think there was like a single day, maybe a single candle that got under 225, but Ida wasn't actually able to buy any of that, so I don't have any of this buy here on Amazon. There wasn't enough pricing underneath the 225 that I wanted. So this still exists here, but that was several months ago, and then this one didn't give it to me. We can look at Google, and Google is low. Not like low, but it was down. And I had talked 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, somewhere on this like 6.8 or 6.15. I had talked about the possibility of Apple rolling over and coming down, but that I didn't really feel like it was going to get into this when type of area that I would prefer to have it at, but that Apple has been extremely strong this entire last 18 months, that this may not happen, and that right in here is the area that might be the best pricing we get on Apple in a while. So I went ahead and picked some of this up, and I'll just see what it does. But I'm in here on Apple. It's not on Google. It's not the best pricing. If it ever does really roll over and come down, then this pricing will obviously be much better. But I just wanted some of it, so I got some of it in here. Not the greatest pricing though, so I still wouldn't line this up, but I wanted it, so I went and got it for myself. Meta still buyable. If you're still buying Meta, then obviously it's still buyable, and we are still below the standard or the mean line here, and like one full standard deviation away from the mean. And it's possible that it is potentially finding its bottom here and after these last like 7 or 8 months, it'll start to climb back up. We have this when right here. It's kind of small, but it looks like about 675 is what it wants to at least try to climb back up to. But I'm of the opinion that 675 isn't the stopping point for Meta. It really wants to get up here into like the 765, and at least return to something respectable for a company of this magnitude. So I'm still expecting it to find 875, call it 900-ish by the end of the year. And if it climbs out of this and gets back up to 900, it'll be back to business as usual. And we can just expect Meta to continue to be Meta. So still buyable, still a really good purchase down here. And then you can just carry this upwards, looking for the first stop at 675, and then call it 785 or so. Is like the stepping stones that we're looking for out of that. Earnings is coming up, so that will likely be the catalyst to get this thing to finally move and get out of the gutter down here. Microsoft has been the really big one. Two full standard deviations away, and then this week finally bounced off of that and came back up. So it's so stretched out from what's an acceptable price on Microsoft that when it did it the last time, it just bounced right out of here, and now it did it this time that I would just fully expect this to bounce right out of there. We are looking for like 480-ish out of Microsoft, and 480, at least 500, and if we get to 480 and we get to 500, then it's going to try and push for new all-time highs, and we may see something like this, not necessarily like this 555 where it bounces out of it, comes all the way up to a new all-time high, and then crashes right back down again. It's probably going to be more like this, where we find a new all-time high like this one was at 470, and then it cools off a little bit, consolidates sideways. So that's what I would expect to see on Microsoft, is to just get out of here, come up off of earnings, come up to, what is that? This, just zoom in on that, here at 455. Bounce out of this at 455, push through, hit some kind of new all-time high, then drop down and consolidate sideways somewhere around 500 to 520. So it's possible over the next couple of weeks that we could see something similar to this. What is that? 1 to 3 weeks. And then, slowly just chunk itself upwards after a big move that pushes it back to something that's respectable, and then it just slowly climbs. So that's what I would be looking for on Microsoft, is to just get out of the gutter down here, have a large push, get up to say 579, 580, and then curl off and find some kind of consolidation back here at 514, 520-ish, and then consolidate sideways like this is here. Just find some respectable pricing and something that is maintainable. Oh, we covered MSTR on the previous video, and we have these lines, and it's basically just get through here, get through here, get through here, push for new all-time highs. Maybe check that out, then roll over and consolidate sideways, just like Microsoft, where you just get out of the gutter, and then the momentum and the hype of it getting out of the gutter will push it to something that's not sustainable, something way up here at 550, 560 or so. What is this number? That's 540. So just something that's not really sustainable for a long term. We'll look for that hype and momentum to push it upwards, then drop off and consolidate sideways and sit somewhere between 350 and 400 and just consolidate sideways at that number, which would be the same as like Bitcoin, where you have the push and then consolidate sideways, push, consolidate sideways, something like that. Nvidia was under 200, so I did get some of this. I had the previous mark months ago at 160, 165-ish, and so I was able to pick up some Nvidia there. And now the new number was about 200s, anything under 200, and so I was able to pick some of this up because it's obviously under 200. So that's Nvidia. Wasn't a whole lot. What is the other? This is the 165 pricing, and then I was able to. I don't know what's going on with my throat. So it does look like it's, I guess you would say bottoming. It's looking for its next move upward. So I did pick some of this up, but I don't expect it to last very long, and it's probably just going to bounce right out of here. But I don't want to overpay for Nvidia. So I just waited for that under 200 and then was able to pick some of that up. And then we have Tesla. I thought there was a lower price on Tesla when I had seen it. It's still viable if somebody did want to pick up some Tesla, but I thought I saw it was a lower price. I thought it was like very low. I guess I got to like 365, which is it's a good price. I thought it was way lower than that. So for me, it's not really the best of prices. If somebody wanted to pick up some Tesla here, it's not a bad price, and this is a good spot to get in. I thought it was lower than that. I thought we were back down to like 340 or so. I talked about how great that 340 price was at that time, that if we saw that again, I was excited for it. And I was going to pick some up, but I guess we didn't even get there. So, that didn't happen, and I didn't pick more of this up. I already own a lot of Tesla, so I'm not looking to really acquire more unless the price is like undeniably great. So for me, this isn't really viable, but it is a half a standard deviation away, and it's been holding up really well. Just traveling up while traveling over. So the longer that this goes on, obviously the higher Tesla's going to go, because it's just like the best company in the world. They do incredible things, and so they're just going to keep growing. That this is going to go upwards, on the long-term charts. And even if you bought it here today at 393, you would expect to be seeing like 490-ish by next year, 2027, January 2027, or what is roughly 521 by January of 2027, or would that be like 2028? I think that'd be January 2028, like a full, say, 18 months from now, not the 6 months from now year mark, but the 18 months from now year mark. Long-term holding, that if you bought it here, and it continues its trajectory and its growth over time, you would expect, something around a $500 mark on Tesla. That it's still not a bad buy. I thought it was somewhere down at 340, so it didn't actually get there. I don't know what pricing I had saw, but that's not where it had gotten to. So, I'm not terribly interested in this. I still have something going on with my throat. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I just wanted to cover that. I did pick up some things heading into earnings. I found some pretty good pricing. Microsoft I still really like. Amazon got pushed out a little high, so I don't really like that one as much. And did we look at Netflix? There is something with Meta, Netflix, and Microsoft. The three that we had been buying for the last like 7 or 10 months. They're looking like they want to come out of this drop off that they've had. It looked like it here on Netflix. But with this when showing up here, I'll just zoom in on that. With this when showing up here, I would just expect Netflix to finally like truly get out of the gutter, get back on the horse, and start being a real company without it just dying for almost a year now, right? If this is the top on June 30th of last year, then for an entire year, this has just been dropping. So I would expect this to just get out of the gutter now. This when is happening soon, and I expect it to get to at least 105, and realistically by the end of the year I'm still expecting 140, 150 on Netflix. So we'll just keep an eye on that. We all have a lot of shares of this. We have a pretty low average on this, so basically whatever it does from here should be positive and profitable and green for us because our averages are so low. But yeah, we'll just wait and see. But Netflix, Microsoft, and Meta all look similar in that they're creating this when here, and they're wanting to get out of the gutter. They've been driven down for almost an entire year. This high is August 11th of last year, and then it's been nothing but down. Microsoft is July 28th, and then it's kind of just been nothing but down. So these are looking, in my opinion, like they want to come out of the gutter, that they're going to start finding buyers, and they're going to start like reclaiming respectable pricing. And all three of these are still part of the Mag 7 and part of the FANG stocks, so it's not like they're nobodies. They should at least still have respectable pricing and should be reliable as something you could long-term dollar cost average into and expect them to return and not be trading 1.5 standard deviations away from their mean. So we're still waiting for that to finally like get to something normal, and then we can sell calls up in this area off of Netflix, Meta, and Microsoft. And yeah, that's it. Mostly because I want to get a drink and cough really, really loud. So that's the video. That's it.